There it is. Okay.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Hey,
We're not watching the game, we're watching Ross. How you doing, dude?
good. Glad the crew's probably gonna come back. So.
Wait, hang on. Chemical, can you hear him well?
Oh, am I too quiet? Or? Okay, it sounds good. This sounds better.
Oh yeah, it's good now. Right, so how you doing, Ross?
Good. Glad the crew's coming back.
Yeah, we're glad you're here. All right, Kemka, load the game, son.
No problem.
Is everything working all right?
Right then. So, from what I can tell, we're actually going to continue on from where we ended last time.
Yeah, like half a year ago in the last stage.
I didn't want to start all the way from the beginning again, because obviously a lot of you probably have already seen that.
All right, loading. There we go.
If you want to climb the ranks quickly, you need to team up with other 510s. You can use
Close it. That's the tutorial.
So you're the driver Troy's just put a hit out on.
All right, now
My name's Herb
drive to the mission. All right, and
City. Come on over.
first I just wonder, does anybody have like questions? We can do like a little Q&A because it's been a while since the last one. For us or for Ross over here.
lucked out.
I definitely have questions, but I'll wait for the
Him and Troy both
audience first.
the whole Midwest. He can get you your
Jack really wants to speak.
and get to it.
Invite him.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hey!
Oh, what's up, dude?
Hey, everybody. So, Ross, by the way, can you see if, did you click the chat thing? So, like, can you see people, like, chatting and stuff?
I only see audio on your end. I see the game though. So.
Well, so if on the top right of the window, there should be, like, a little chat
Yeah,
bubble icon.
I can see the chat too.
Very little.
Okay. That's what I was asking. I was trying to make sure you can see that. But, yeah. Is it crazy
really
seeing
hard to
this
read the
footage?
Yeah, we got the crew, we got Ross. It is fucking crazy.
Yeah, you know it's authentic when the map's not filled. You know, it's all back to gray again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's God, it really does, like, just the fact that it's been less than a year and we've already got this far into like getting it working.
It's gonna be the anniversary of the shutdown announcement, like in 7 more days. Pretty funny.
Yeah, the thing is, you never know with server emulators. I mean, sometimes you get lucky like this. Other times it's like
Well,
5 years and then it's less functional. Other times it's never. You know.
It probably helped because we before the shutdown, we basically downloaded a DLL file and put it in the directory. And so what it did was we would go into the game and do various things, and basically the DLL file would dump the information that was being sent and received from the server. So basically, we could mimic that. I think someone also tried using Wireshark and didn't really get much, but
Yeah,
like that
you
always
want
helps.
the packets or...
Yeah.
Wireshark was not informative enough. We have to like you know,
Because
reverse
it just went to like a single
little
website
bit.
or something, didn't it? Didn't it go to like a single website or something?
What do you mean?
for the Wireshark thing. Like it only pointed to one thing or something and it wasn't useful.
I'm not sure. I wasn't using Wireshark. All right, hang on. Okay, is there anything left to do? Yeah. So we basically we're almost completed the story, and besides that, I guess the summit for completion's sake, and I think it's pretty much ready for like at least initial release. You know.
Yeah, when I was talking to Ross earlier, he said that he got this game in 2015 on Uplay, so he's one of the people that I guess got his license revoked, basically.
Oh
He said
yeah,
he
I was
backed up
gonna
the
ask
files, though.
Ross about his story with the crew, but not yet, not yet. Well, actually, you know what? No, tell us now, Ross. What's your story with the crew? Tell us how we came to the game dungeon with the crew.
In case maybe that'll be useful. But yeah, no, I wanted to play it badly, but I'm a cheap ass. I always wait till they're cheap. So 2015, I was able to get it like through a gray market vendor for like $10. So if I had waited another year, I would have gotten it for free. But then I guess doing it the way I did, I was able to file a complaint with the CCRF. I was part of the first wave. Yeah, when we filed complaints with the French Consumer Protection Agency, there were actually two waves of that, where there was the wave that I mentioned in the video, where just everybody's worldwide sending complaints. But before that, one of the volunteers had some contact with them, and they sent like a list of complaints, like with all of her information, to a different department. And he said that this is gonna, the way he explained it to me is appearing in this department and then appearing organically in that other one, them merging, it's really going to escalate, and it did. So we're still waiting on the answer from the consumer agency. Normally, I'm told they take about 1 to 2 months to resolve this. It's been over 8. And I think that's actually a good sign, because if they were going to tell us to just go to hell, this is fine, they wouldn't need to take that long to do it, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So I think we opened up Pandora's box as far as the law goes on this in Europe, of just like taking the game away from you.
Yeah, and I told Ross earlier, like one of my dreams with this whole campaign, even if it was a bit of a stretch, was having this basically mean like the ball would get rolling on other scummy things that companies do. And Ross was like, "Yeah, they probably could. I mean,
well, maybe. Like, see, here's okay. This is gonna be pretty boring. I'll try and rush through it. What's being brought up with this is the EULAs that they have for the crew. Under EU law, you have consumer protection statutory rights that override those. And almost every EULA, including the crews for like modern video games, I would guess like 95% or more of them probably violate EU law, which means they're null and void. So when the EULAs don't apply, what they look at next are like, well, what are the consumer laws? And there really aren't clear laws on this sort of situation in the EU, even though these kinds of games have been around for about 20 years now. You know, the government hasn't caught up. So it's like almost a lawless state. So while everything's lawless, while we're pushing our own issue, that might be an opportunity to push in a lot of other things too.
About time.
I just think it's funny when you read some of them and they're like, "You must destroy your copy."
Yeah. Oh, that works because it's so egregious. Yeah, like they can change the terms at any time. They can terminate at any time for any reason. You're required to destroy your copy. So having that all stacked in there, that works in our favor. You know, they probably think that protects them, and probably does in the United States, but in Europe, that just makes them look worse, because it makes it really obvious this is unfair. But it's this is never been challenged like this before. So
well, it probably didn't help, because I remember you saying at the beginning of this campaign that like you got in touch with various agencies, and apparently some of them weren't even aware that this stuff was going on. So it's like, because no one said anything for so long, that's probably why they were allowed to do it for as long as they have.
oh yeah, I think government generally not caring about video games unless there's some shock value or something. And for those that do understand what's going on, this is a mess. Like it's something that's been. I compare it to like Uber. you know, when it first came on the scene, people weren't sure, governments weren't sure if that was like a taxi service or are these employees or contractors. But see,
Oh
that was,
yeah.
they were figuring out as it came out. There wasn't multi-billion-dollar industries built on top of this for 20 years, then finding out there's no laws on this. So it's a
Well,
mess. We're pushing as hard as we can.
which is kind of funny, anyways, because I'm pretty sure Uber or Lyft or one of them or both of them are kind of under some hot water right now, anyways. But that's its own thing.
They are.
But- yes, I know there's like some whole thing with people being treated unfairly. It's like that unionizing and all that. But I don't know
Oh,
enough
that.
about that to actually like know for sure. But I have heard about it. I heard that was like a thing that was going on. But
All right, Ross. Can you give us all a reminder what's going on with the campaign? Like what's relevant right now?
Yeah, okay, so there's multiple things. I'll try. The campaign was kind of split into two different general categories. One was just pushing consumer action on the crew, because the crew was like the perfect candidate for this,
Yeah.
for multiple reasons. And the others were just were more ambitious, where we were just trying to propose new law straight up to governments. Because I figured, well, while I'm on this whole campaign, I just want to give it my all to try and stop this sort of thing from happening. So for the crew stuff, that's all pretty much submitted and done, and we're just waiting. We've got to escalate it at 3 different agencies, the consumer protection agencies in France, Germany, and Australia. Who knows how long they're going to take? I mean, I was kind of hoping France would be weighing in by now. Australia is probably going to take the longest, because Australia originally kind of dismissed a bunch of the complaints, but like some of the very few funds I did spend on this were for a law firm to just push the complaints to the ACCC in Australia, their consumer agency. So it's not a lawsuit, but it's just paying them to just get their attention, and it did, and they got a confirmation of that. So,
Jish, could you type quieter, please? I can't even hear Ross over you.
What?
Yeah, go on, go on. I was
Oh,
telling Jack to type quieter because I couldn't even hear you over his keyboard. Jeez. Go
oh,
on.
sorry, was that me?
It's
Sorry
okay, it's okay,
about
it's
that.
And the petitions, we submitted one to Australia. That one finished, and they said basically we need to do what we were already doing and send this to the consumer agencies. We submitted one to Canada. That one concluded. We're still waiting on the answer back from it, though. It did get brought forth in Parliament, but they haven't had a decision yet. I wouldn't hold my breath on that one, but it's more like I'm trying to just exhaust all options. So. And the UK, that one was just a complete mess on the government side of it. And Parliament closed, all the petitions got shut early. We've resubmitted a new one. That's going to open up any day now, really. I mean, it could be tomorrow, it could be in a few weeks, but I would guess this month. And then we'll try and get a bunch of signatures and get it brought before UK Parliament. And the big one, the most ambitious, is the European Citizens Initiative. That one's kind of rough because we need 1 million signatures for that. I think we're cruising just under 400,000 right now. At the rate it's going, we're not going to make it. However, we still have 1 or 2 big pushes coming that I think are going to determine, like, that'll either make or break this. So I don't know how much I'm allowed to say on that right now, but we have 1 or 2 more tricks left with that. So we'll probably find out a month or 2. But even if that fails, we have all this other stuff going with the consumer agencies. I think that's going to be the real backbone of this. So. And we're getting the best of both worlds because you guys get the game working. So we were able to use the crew as a missile to try to stop this practice, but we didn't lose the game, thanks to you guys. So.
I mean, Whammy,
Yeah.
do you think we would have gotten this far, or really been able to do this at all, if it weren't for all the DLL dumping?
We would be fucked without that, without the packet dumping. Like, I'm honest right now, we'd be fucked.
Oh yeah. Also, I saw someone in chat ask earlier. They're asking if Chemical is using the pre-WR stuff you were working on. The mod.
No.
stuff.
This is just clean latest build of the game.
Gotcha.
It's late. This is latest build. Nothing's been changed. There's no mods, no graphic improvements. Nothing's been done.
Yep.
Although, Ross, there is a channel somewhere, I forgot which one, where Whammy was showing off some of the changes he was making, like restoring stuff.
That screenshot thread. I saw his notice earlier saying they just weren't. You guys weren't going to be able to change the lighting because that's kind of hard coded. But then you were able to like remove filters or something. And I saw that screenshot thread. I think, well, if it looks like this, I don't have any complaints from that screenshot thread.
Yeah, just the small tweaks we can do alone, it already looks like way better.
The sun is still crazy though. I'm not sure how to fix that yet.
Well, actually, I have a
Sadly.
few. Unless somebody has something more important, I have a few rapid fire questions as to what might be possible. If you
All
don't
right.
mind.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the first question: do you anticipate we'll be able to either freeze the time of day or else slow it down a lot? Like if you wanted to
Oh
just
yeah, that's possible. But I'm not
Okay.
sure if it's like a reasonable thing to do because it might not come off as that. But this game it's still like built as an MMO basically. The way it works with the server and such.
Well, I just meant like the weather, like the time of day, that sort of thing.
I'm just
Yeah,
watching
that's-
the chat go ape shit.
What?
Because I was typing this for a second ago, everyone just goes ape shit.
All right, stop tapping for a little bit, okay?
Yeah,
Okay,
sorry.
so when we start changing the time like per player, I'm not sure that might cause some like desync with the let's say the MMO world. So there's like the factions monthly stuff. There's the summit, also like monthly. I don't know. It's just gonna like desync the players. There's still like I guess some what is it called? Persist in the world kind of thing, with the server time. And the game's time being based on the real time, right?
Yeah, okay, so you might be able to like spoof it on the server end, maybe. Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That would require sending like a wrong real world date to the game. This would desync like all that meta game stuff as they call it, like factions and summits. So I think it's not a great idea.
yeah, but
But I'm not
was
sure.
thinking,
We'll see. We'll see.
if you were running the server emulator and it was just you driving around in it, and you wanted to like
Oh,
keep it in the mo-
actually, I forgot about that. Silly me. Yeah, that should be possible actually.
Okay, cool. Because sometimes it would look gorgeous. I'm thinking, oh, let's just keep it like this, and then 5 minutes later, it's all changed, and then because you were talking about like the sun blasting you.
Oh yeah.
But what about the weather? Would we be able to set it to like it's always sunny if we wanted, or?
Yes.
Okay, that's awesome.
It's
I
like
hate
that
the
Half-Life
rain in
2
this game.
Overcharge mod where it's like the sun is leaking.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, well, it felt like every 20 minutes, the game starts making it rain or something.
Oh yeah, it's so weird.
Well, like I said, it doesn't help because I'm pretty sure a lot of the weather settings too that aren't raining also just have wet roads anyways. Because I remember selecting them in photo mode and just wet roads would just appear for no reason.
Yeah, they're like wet most of the time. Like they're wet for chemical right now.
You're going to Vegas.
Okay, not anymore in the
It
mission.
felt like, you know what Wild Run felt like? It felt like they were trying to make a demo of showing off all these effects in 3 minutes, and then just left it like that, so that it's always spitting crap at you, whether it's really fits or not.
You're probably right. I don't know.
A few quick questions. Do you think we'll be able to change the FOV?
Yes.
Oh man, that'll be a help. Let's see. Oh yeah, another big one. Can we, for night driving, will we be able to adjust like the headlight length or the?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
man.
I was just doing that like 10 minutes ago, by the way.
Yeah, Wild Run had like different headlight textures or something like that, and I guess he
No,
restored
it had
them.
no headlight textures.
When I made the video, I was like comparing it to like real world driving and to friggin' Need for Speed 3. I was
Three.
showing
Yeah.
Speed 3 has better headlights for seeing the road than Wild Run. I mean, it's like,
They messed something up with like the new lighting system where it's luminance based and it uses temperature, color, and Kelvin. Some like crap like that. I don't know. Some like luminance, some nonsense to be honest.
This footage is perfect for my next question. The 2D dirt textures on the camera, will we be able to mod that up somehow?
Yeah.
Oh, that would
Yep.
be great too.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that
like
are
it now.
like screwed up with this. Like,
And a lot of them are like things that might just take a couple number tweaks to get access to the code, you know?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's just like a lot of this stuff is just simple number tweaks.
well, like I said, because you didn't know before, because you didn't know before about the whole thing with like basically all of Ivory Tower getting sacked and like replaced with different people.
Not all, but a good amount.
Is
Let me
Fergus
just say
still with
that.
Ivory Tower? I don't remember.
Yeah, he was the one who announced the Crew 2 and Motorfest offline modes.
I wonder how many people here know in the server that Fergus is here in the server.
What? No, he's not. Is he?
Well, just hearing all that, I really think the game's going to be a better experience post shutdown. Let's see how it's finished. Because
Yeah, because we're not trying to sabotage it, you know, to sell the Crew 2.
yeah, we're just having these basic kind of mod options of stuff that just felt off to me when I played it. I mean,
I think a lot of people went into the Crew 2 expecting a sequel to the Crew 1, and
Oh yeah, they did.
there's nothing to do with the Crew 1 and the Crew 2, and that sort of killed it for me personally.
for me, it was honestly the blur filter. Like I hated it.
Yeah,
It must be,
I think it.
TAA.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's probably TAA.
Which, funny enough, the Crew 1 has TAA, but like a completely different, like earlier implementation. Actually looks good. It doesn't make anything blurry.
It's also
Yeah, it's-
optional.
I know a
It's
lot of
optional.
people complain about TAA, and I can see that, but I've played a lot of games with it enabled, and it didn't bother me. Whereas the Crew 2, if I'm like looking in the distance, it's kind of like having astigmatism. Like it's
It probably
yeah.
depends. I would imagine if you have higher frame rates, there's better blending between frames. But with something like the Crew, it's like locked to 60.
no. I,
No,
I
you're
would-
thinking motion. He means static, right, Ross? Talking about static image?
Yeah, I would just park the car, and it would still be blurry. It's almost like it had like a real tiny amount of depth of field effect that you couldn't turn off in the Crew 2.
Is that actually TAA? I'm not even sure if it's like static. TAA is so weird these days, I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't say 100% either. Somebody's saying you turn it off in the chat. However, my understanding is that's outdated information. Like you could at one point, but
That's what I
then-
heard too. That's what I heard too. And they
Yeah,
patched
so-
it out.
Yeah, so basically, someone found out that you could turn off TAA in the config file, and people were passing that idea around. And a developer literally straight up explicitly said, "You're not supposed to do that." And then, like in a later thing, they patched it so it was hard coded, so it doesn't do anything in
They
the
actually
config.
said you're not supposed to do that.
But it's weird too, is because if you go in the graphics settings, you could turn on and off FXAA. But if you've already got TAA hard coded on, what's FXAA gonna do?
it's some devs get stuck in their ways, man. It reminds me of, I think it was Battlefield 3, where people were running like reshade on it to have the colors more vibrant or something, because the game was like blasted teal and desaturated, and the devs like threatened to ban people with the color mod. Those things.
Well, it also has to do with, I think, with how reshade like injects itself as well.
Yeah, but it's harmless.
Yeah, I mean I kind of feel like I have the attitude that the more a game expects you to play a lot of it, like the Crew or something, the more you should kind of give people a lot of options. You know, if it was just something where you play 6-8 hours and you beat the game, there's not much replay value, then it's not as big a deal. But
You know, that reminds me, a part of your video in the Crew, the game dungeon, you said you were complaining about the unskippable intros, which is a true complaint, but you could skip half of them, by the way, the second half, where it goes into like the Havoc splash screen, the Crew splash, so you could enter through them after the Ubisoft logo.
how did you do?
Just a fun fact. What?
How could you do that though? Like you just like change the
First,
files?
it goes into the epilepsy warning screen, then it goes Ubisoft logo, then every tower, and then it goes like into the crew logo. You could enter through that, and then the Havoc logo. You could also enter through that. Skip it. Weird, but I'm just it's just a fun fact for y'all.
It's maybe I was referring to like an earlier spot, and I was just too impatient.
Well, probably
Like,
the Ubisoft movies, right?
All the text on it. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of games where you can just like the intro video stuff is like just video files in the files. You can just like back up or whatever.
That's the case. However, I never tried doing that because it was an MMO. I didn't want to risk it, like thinking I'm cheating or something.
Oh,
because I'm
back
doing
then you
that.
couldn't do it anyway because there was like no what's it called? No way to repack game files, basically. But we actually already did that. We tried replacing the intro movies with just like a black screen. That's what we've been running for like months to speed up
Yeah.
testing,
A whole ton of games that do that for, but this. Okay, maybe I was just too. I didn't want to get banned, so I didn't try it. I don't know. I know I was matching like every key, like on that screen where, it's giving you the, I guess the copyright info or something like that, like a lot of text on it. I'd have to look at my video again, but.
Well, no, the copyright screen you could skip actually. That's the one I was talking about, like the second half.
Aren't there like two before that you can't? Or...
Well, yeah. The epilepsy warning, the first one, and then the movies you cannot, and then you can skip.
Okay, that
then
might
you
have been
will-
what I was referring to. Then I was just too impatient because you play something dozens of times, any delay starts getting real old.
Yeah.
Like-
Well, don't get me wrong, I wasn't defending it. Okay, we're gonna have like mods for
Okay.
that just to remove the
Well,
movies.
here's another question. This one doesn't matter so much. I love the music theme to the original Crew and to Wild Run. Is there any chance we might be able to like mod in that instead of the Calling All Units theme?
Yes, and I actually already did it for myself because I'm
Oh,
annoyed at
perfect,
the calling all units. I just restore like the whole original menu for myself for now.
Yeah. Like I think what was it like StarCraft 2? They let you pick like which login version you want. I think Total War Warhammer. Man, that would be perfect. Just pick the one you like the most, and
Yeah, there will be like mods, and you could just choose the mod you want. Like, do you want the Wild Run main menu or the original?
because I don't know. I got tired of the Calling All Units theme, but I love the other two aren't gonna get old with me anytime soon.
Yeah, and the thing is like the Crew's like original soundtrack by Joseph Trapanese is freaking amazing. I just love it. It sounds so cinematic and cool. But I think he's actually done like movie stuff, so it makes sense.
Yeah, he has like classical training, as I've heard, which explains like the some of the motifs in the score with the strings and such.
Dude, the freaking E3 trailer for the Crew still gives me like chills. I love it. Like the
CGI
Camaro
one,
thing.
right? The
Which
Camaro
one?
being built.
Yeah,
assembled.
with Warrior Concerto in the background. Yeah, I love that trailer so much.
Is that how you pronounce it? Concerto?
Yeah, Concerto by the
Really?
Glitch Mob. Yeah,
I've been saying concerto.
that's what I thought too.
Alright, well, good to know.
Like that.
What do you say, Ross?
A lot of English is like that, where
No,
you
yeah.
know, 95% of the time, then whatever
Sugar.
people want to do with the rest of the time.
Are you fluent in Polish, Ross?
No, but I know lots. I'm trying to learn like caveman Polish, like nouns and verbs. So I know lots of foods. I can mostly read a menu now.
Pierogi.
Yeah, like kurczak, kukurydza, pomidor, cebula, and so.
Well, when did you? Because I didn't even know. Whenever I first emailed you, I didn't even know you moved to Poland. Like, how long ago was that?
It's been a while now. I should have learned more. Even though I have. I met moved here to be with my then girlfriend, now wife, who's Polish. So and I didn't have much time me down at the time. So not coming here to see how it went, then to play it safe. So that's actually one of the
That's what I've
reasons.
noticed with your personality type. It's like you'd rather do it than like regret not doing it.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't apply to everything. You know, if you're gonna like lose your arm or something.
And it's like even it's like if you don't like it, well, at least you tried, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah,
like
I
I
agree
wouldn't
with
want to nagging doubt. You know. No, that's actually one of the reasons I like the cruise so much because it's like, yeah, parts of this kind of really do feel like the USA. You know, so it's like, oh, cool, I get to cruise around through it.
Which
Which
areas are your favorite? I wonder.
What?
Which areas are your favorite in the game? I wonder.
Let's see.
Gaining a reputation.
Do you remember?
Maybe Midwest, like the South.
You can get
It's
your
pretty
clearance
good too.
anytime, but you might wanna
Probably gonna
finish
pick
your
between the
work here
two.
before you get a new spec.
The South, like the Texas part or the Florida part?
And are perfect
No, the
for
Florida
when you
part, I
hunt.
guess.
Ideal for when you don't know
Oh yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
good.
it's kind of weird to think of Florida as like part of the South, because usually you think like Texas is like usually you think like the East Coast, Southeast Coast.
I actually like, yeah, for the cities, I actually like the DC a lot. How they showed it. And Chicago is good. Detroit. Most of the cities really.
Like they actually kind of felt like the cities, right? For the most part.
Yeah, because I've been to DC a few times, and I was thinking, oh yeah, this kind of does give me that. I've always been impressed by mappers who can do that, where you know, because it's nowhere near the size of the real city, but they figure out like which monuments or landmarks.
It's like a caricatured kind of city.
Yeah, to give it that feel. I'm always impressed by people that can do that sort of thing.
Well, like even with Wild Run's like bullshit attached. I mean, the thing is like this is what I like about the crew compared to the second one is that no matter where you are in the map, you can usually tell where you are just by looking at your surroundings and stuff like that. Even with Wild Run's crap that made everything more genericized, like you could still do that. With the crew 2, you can't do that at all. Just everywhere is
Really?
exactly the same. Yeah.
You know, all I did for the crew 2, I played through the main campaign, and that was it. So I never even wandered around enough to be able to verify that or not. But I could take your word for it.
When did you first try the Crew 2, by the way? I'm just curious.
A couple years ago, let's see.
Well, it came out in 2018, I think.
Yeah, maybe 2018 or 2020.
That's when the game Dungeon came out.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
the
came
crew
out-
2. Yeah, the crew 2 was already out when he did the game dungeon. I do remember that.
Yeah, I tend to. I'm almost never like an early adopter these days. I tend to be. Again, I'm a cheap ass. I wait till stuff gets marked down. Usually a couple years afterwards. The original crew I
Oh, yeah.
wanted to play really badly, so it's unusual for me to play a game like within a year. A year after release is very fast for me. So it's.
How'd you learn about the Crew?
I don't remember. Probably some on a game site like PC Gamer or something, and just
Oh, you were reading PC Gamer?
What?
You were reading PC Gamer?
I checked a couple of games news sites. PC Gamer, Rock Paper Shotgun, PC Games N. Those are ones I look at.
What up? Hey,
No, go ahead.
Go on. No, you go ahead. No, I'll go ahead. Okay, Ross, what attracted you to the game? I wonder. Like, what appealed to you?
Just being able to drive across the U.S. I mean, I've been wanting something like that. To give you an idea how much I've been wanting something like this, like with Microsoft Flight Simulator, I was checking to see, well, how good does it look on the ground level? It's like, oh, it doesn't really look that good. It's only
Yeah.
that's like a dream game for me to just like kind of just drive through like every back road or go from
Well, I mean,
city-
like, yeah, but I mean, that's kind of like it's a flight simulator. It's kind of to be expected, to be fair. But
Yeah, no, I'm not knocking them for that, but like I had already played Test Drive Unlimited 1 and 2.
Oh, you
Like
played
all
2?
that, so. I love the concept of like an open world driving game where there's lots to see, you know.
Oh, yeah.
well, there was. I think they're still working on it. It's been years and years, and they've been pretty silent about it. But there used to be something I used to look at called Outterra, and it was like a 1-to-1 Earth sort of thing. And there was like rows and builds like that, and basically it's like a template people could add stuff to. So I mean, that could have, and they have vehicles, so it could have been like like a drive across the world sort of thing.
Yeah, it really helps to have like the little details like cars driving around and like light posts and stuff to make it feel alive, you know?
Well, the thing is we noticed is that did you know, Ross, that like some of the cities have like their own like unique like street lights and signs and stuff like that, and a lot of that got genericized with Wild Run as well.
Yeah, you were one of the patch notes said that what for the buildings there was code in there so that lights would appear on also during the day. So if it's like in the shade or something, you could see that. It makes the city feel more alive, so it doesn't just feel dead during the evening or something like that.
Oh yeah, the window lights.
Yeah.
Such a simple number tweak, unbelievably simple. Like it was intentional, I'm sure.
All those little touches add up, man. Like that's what makes me want to stuff like that makes me want to keep playing, you know, when it feels
The
like
little
it's-
details, the little
Yeah,
details. The
yeah.
game was full of them before. It's crazy what they did.
like you could cut the texture resolution in half, but if you have like all those little details, that's what kind of sucks me in more in a game.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing with like the crew is it's supposed to be like stylized. It's like a caricaturized version of the US. So there's a lot of emphasis on details because they want every area to be way more unique and stand out.
Just to give flair, you know? Like, oh, Washington foggy bottom. Let's make it foggy, you know?
Oh yeah, that was another update you mentioned that hadn't even occurred to me. You were talking about like how in the morning or during certain weather you're gonna have like low level fog or mist now to kind
Like a haze, a morning haze.
To be
Yeah.
fair, that was already kind of in the game, but it wasn't very pronounced, let's just say that. And especially during the day, there's just like no fog, I'm pretty sure. Again, a very simple number tweak. What I did is for the East Coast, I'm gonna add like a foggy weather to the woods in the East Coast, like the original game. I think it looks awesome, you know?
Yeah.
Like
I
this
didn't
kind
even-
of half sunny, half foggy weather.
Look, seeing your screenshot list, that makes me give like implicit trust as to whatever you decide to do art direction wise.
No, thank you, I appreciate it.
I mean, like he's already doing God's work as it is by bringing this back, but then on top of that, he's like actually trying to fix it, and I think it's amazing.
we are bringing it back. I couldn't do this alone. Just saying. Don't forget that.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, but these fixes, some of these are, like you said, like some of these could just be like a few number values, and then it really makes the game a nicer experience, you know?
Yeah, so like I'm pretty sure just looking at the weather configurations, all this stuff is just like I said that I look at it. I just think why was this like value set? Just why it's so simple to like change the value, make it look so much better. Like I'm pretty sure it's intentional sabotage. They were my theory is that they were just preparing for the crew 2, you know, upgraded like engine render. They were just like, okay, but don't make the first one too good looking, so the second one looks better. And then when it actually comes out, it didn't anyway. But, you know.
I'd never realized though, like just how much is actually missing from the map in terms of, because yeah, it's a limited map. You can only put so much on it, and you know, especially with the shape of it and everything. But there's like some cities, like for example, like Boston is missing, but Boston's pretty significant in American history. Like you'd think they would include Boston.
Yeah, that was so weird that there's no Boston. I think they just ran out of space or
In
something.
fairness, they have a lot. So I figure at some point, the stuff that's missing is just, it might come down to like, they only had so much time and the scale's so enormous as it is. They probably had to, you know, cut something just to get it out the door is my
Is
guess.
Atlanta in this map? I don't remember.
What?
Is Atlanta in this map? I don't remember.
No.
Yeah, that'd be another, I didn't think of that. That would be another good one.
Denver.
Oh yeah, because like all the Colorado area is just landscapes. There's not really much in terms of cities
Yeah,
or
just
anything.
canyons, mountain states, the south part. The north
Yeah.
part is pretty cool though.
It seems like that would have been the natural way to sell a sequel, is to like add even more cities, you know?
Oh yeah. You wish.
It's a shame they took.
Instead of killing what you have. That's true. Yeah,
Why
because
does-
they got rid of Salem, didn't they? And 2 and some other towns. And
Oh, that's we'll probably be here like all day if we were to list.
Amusement park. Or,
Well,
But yes,
technically,
CLM.
technically, it's not America. It's Motor Nation.
What? Is that what
That's
they
a-
call it?
They call it Motor Nation in two. Yeah.
What?
I don't know either.
Welcome
trust
to
me.
the Motor Nation.
That's literally what they do in like on like the. I don't remember where like the introductory thing or something. But they're like, this is Motor Nation, not the U.S.
You know what? That's kind of like very telling. Is I remember recording with the game Revo for his The Crew video, and I said something like I didn't come up with it. I just like retold it. The map is like the main character in The Crew, something like that. The USA, you know, and then The Crew 2. Well, could go less of a fuck about the USA.
The Crew
It's
2's
Motor
map.
Nation.
If the Crew 2's map was a character, it would be like the annoying comic relief character.
What? It'd be dead because the map is dead.
He just no character, just dead. You got shot.
Remains of the original The Crew 1 character map.
Also, there's people in the chat saying to please bring out the old Mustang. I don't know.
What?
Is there something I'm missing here? Or is there an inside joke?
What old Mustang?
maybe
What, the
there's,
red
like,
one?
Mustangs.
I haven't checked the chat for a while. My bad.
I just have a couple more questions. These are the ambitious ones, though, so I'm totally prepared for like no answers to these.
Prepare for disappointment.
But like, well, no. Would you be able? Would there be some sort of hack, like if you wanted to drive non-standard cars, like that delivery van back there or something?
I mean, like traffic cars and stuff.
Ooh,
yeah.
yeah, that's a tricky one because it's not like games like Need for Speed where it's just like set car model. Well, let's spoof it to the traffic car. Now you're driving the traffic car. This
Or like
game is,
force the
way
game
it's
to spawn, or
designed-
like force the game to spawn like a car ID or something.
Yeah, this game is so like overly designed towards like player cars. Like for example, when we were working with like car parts, like because we got your server save file on the server, so we had to like reverse the whole save structure. And when we was doing the car parts, if we would set like any car part that the player didn't own, right, like bought, the game would just like not load at all. So I can't even like imagine how's it gonna work with like traffic cars.
Does it have
But
anything to do
we'll
with?
see. Maybe there's like a different way to just like spoof the model and that's it. But I don't know.
This is just
I'm kind of talking
me.
out my ass right now.
This is just me like wish listing. This is like asking a genie almost. So
Well, does it
It would
have
be, it would be
anything?
cool though.
Does it have anything to
Yeah, go
do
on.
with? Because aren't there like certain player cars that are like unobtainable or something? Like I think you said like the Ford Raptor or something, and like the street
Raptor
version.
from the prologue.
Yeah, like isn't that like a unique vehicle?
Yeah, see, but those are still player cars, right? They're intended for the players, so they will work. Like the Xfinity Rough you probably talked about too, right?
I didn't catch the last part.
I'd say it's a car, like a special car, the Xfinity Rough. It's quite a almost like an urban legend kind of car because there was
Yeah,
like, some,
basically, Ross-
Xfinity competition. But yeah, explain to him.
Yeah, so basically, Ross, there was because we don't have Porsche, we have RUF or whatever, like the
Oh,
alternative because of the whole Porsche license. But they had a version of one of the cars that had an Xfinity livery, and I guess it was some competition or something that you could unlock it.
Oh,
Yeah, when the
okay,
game like came out, something like that, there was like a competition. And the race from the competition is like still in the game. You could just play it. It's called like the Xfinity Speed Challenge. It's just there as a story mission for some reason, which is strange.
Yeah, I can actually
Yeah,
bring that up
Chemical's
on
gonna show it to
screen.
you. Like
It's
below,
actually
below.
right here.
Yeah, it's still here. And you drive like the car, the Xfinity Rough there, but you don't get it because it was like supposed to be a competition.
Yeah, I think I only have like two more questions. Well, since we're talking about cars, is there any chance of being able to like increase traffic if you wanted, or
Oh
Without-
yeah. Yeah, I found like the
like,
well, not just me, of course. There's like the traffic configurations for the spawner. Fun
like a
fact,
per
I think
area
it's
thing, isn't
limited
it?
to I think it's limited to 25 cars on screen, if I understand correctly. So yeah, we're gonna increase the density as well. I haven't tried it yet. I'm kind of scared, but I'll try later.
Well, yeah, well, it could be a performance crasher.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Could you imagine if it was like if you tweaked it to be like realistic? Like imagine how boring it would be if it was realistic level. So you're like trying to race in like bumper to bumper New York traffic.
Yeah.
I think the last one I had was for like okay, I've seen this in Forza Horizon where they have like a drone option where you can kind of have like a free camera fly around. Do you think there's any chance of might be able to have something like that? Like if you wanted to just like not like get out of the car exactly, but just like send a free camera wherever you
So
want.
it'd be
You
more.
have this in game, Ross.
Well, there is photo mode, but it's I think it's
Video
limited.
mode, launch video
Oh,
mode.
yeah, that too.
Chemical. It's in the phone.
But
menu at
it's
the
got
bottom.
boundaries, right? You can't go.
Yeah, are
very
you
far
talking
or
about
whatever.
boundaries, Ross?
Yeah,
Like
like if
unlocking
you
the boundaries.
bring it up or something, you know.
Oh yeah, actually, I haven't thought of that. That'll be really cool to try.
Unlocking the boundaries and all that.
Yeah. That'd be great. Wait, press into the left stick.
Nope.
No,
wrong
that's
one.
the right stick. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. And you can change the time of day and drive in here too, in the video mode.
And you can drive while doing it as well, if you wanted, I guess.
Oh yeah, I just said that. Shows the presidents.
Yeah.
Well, chat was asking if you'll be able to get this working on OG crew pre-Wild Run. That sounds
but
like
it's gonna take a bit.
For some
What do you
reason,
mean?
Ross, the pre-Wild Run versions of this game have like some kind of open SSL encryption, and the later versions don't.
No. All versions except for the latest one have
The calling
a
all units
SSL
one.
security like certificate check. The client checks it, right? And we don't have Ubisoft certificates, so it's gonna take some hacking. But the
What
latest
the-
version, this one we're playing, for some reason they just disabled that security measure, basic security measure.
I need to know what she can
I don't know why. Maybe they were trying to help us or something.
benchmark the time on this run before. I just need to
I'd say we got lucky with that someone just like disabled that security measure, because that
It
would have
might-
slowed it down by a lot.
internal thing open something like that.
What'd you say?
It might have, for all we know, it might have been the internal thing hoping somebody would be able to access it so the game wouldn't get destroyed.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe that's what happened, or maybe they just forgot him. Because Calling All Units was pretty rushed.
Yeah, like with Doom releasing without the DRM and then
Oh yeah, Ross, did you know that Denuvo has an official Discord server?
I did not know.
It sounds like hell.
What
That was
did
like
they
1984.
just get people? Some people like seeing everyone upset. Or,
They're collecting your tears.
You're nailing it.
yeah, I think the streams I can hear the stream.
Yeah, I can hear the sounds, and the sound's a bit laggy, but the screen's frozen.
Yeah.
Oh,
Really, it's
hang
fine
on.
for me. That's weird.
2 seconds. Oh.
Let him finish. No. Maybe
Hang on.
720p. You could try.
Yeah, I can try dropping it down. I think it varies a lot depending on people's own internet connections as well.
I have like 750 megs, so it should be fine.
Yeah, I'm on a gigabit out and in, so should be okay.
No, they're
Oh no! Where's the game? Where's the game, man?
Drop it down to 720.
He's dead, Jim, but not as we know it.
There you go.
well. It sounds like you guys
We
are
back
gonna
on?
have like every wish list item I had that is easy in concept. You know, but like adding
Wish
Boston
list.
is
Oh,
easy,
getting the video, you mean?
you know, but longer headlights, field of view, controlling the weather, that sort of.